Come on in. Come on in, y'all. It's time. It's close to sunset. It's time. Come on in. It doesn't look clean enough. I wouldn't get in that. I wouldn't want that in my eyes. It has a green haze to it. It sure doesn't look clean. How lovely. They have the lights on there. He has lights on his balcony. It looks so beautiful. Come on in, everybody. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come on in. Join this Sunday night sunset. We're on Sunday night sunset watch. Don't be shy. Come on in. Let us see what we can find high up in the sky. It's good and toasty on the coast with toast. Yeah, with toast on the coast. Sinuses can't hang. Not many people can hang in this heat. And it's just getting started. We ain't seen nothing yet. As soon as I felt that heat, I got right up, got into that cold water. I didn't wait. I didn't wait until it started to feel miserable. Where is my bag, child? I bet it's high. I bet it's some good food where she is. Hi, I'm new Madeline Sanchez. 2132. Hi, Madeline. And you're not too new for me, honey. You're just right for this channel because we watch the sunset and I don't check your ID. I don't check to see how new you've been around. I don't watch your pockets or none of that. You can just come here and relax. Uh-oh. You can come here and relax. Hello. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Yeah, you can come here and relax, Madeline. Because this is no frills, no thrills. You can pop in and pop out, watch the replay or not. Just let your hair down, because the young and the restless granny will will definitely let her bun down too. Madeline, you won't believe. Oh, wait a minute. M at M word underscore drones underscore lover dash T1Z. All right. You're new to M word in Zarshay 2024. Hi. How are you, my lovelies? Granny is so glad and grateful for your company. The young and the restless Granny won't sell you any soap. Those soap operas, they always had something to sell you. All we do is look at the sunset and talk about day-to-day activities and cars, cars, how to save, if that's possible. On the coast, we don't really know what it is to save. If we have savings, believe me, we're using that to survive. Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, the last couple of days, will you all believe this? I was over at one of the movie theaters. Let me turn this up so I don't have to yell and disturb everybody. Turn this way up. Yeah, I was at one of the movie theaters just to chill out and cool out, because it didn't matter to me which movie I saw. I just wanted to be in the air conditioner with popcorn. But before I could get in the door, do you know the security guard walks up and says hi? And she started telling me she didn't have a place to live. She needed somewhere to live. Did I live around here? And how much was it? And, you know, I'm telling you, working people, they, I think she said she had 2 jobs. She wasn't the only one. That was 2 days ago. Then yesterday, I had these headphones on. I was listening to probably Rod Wave. If you check him out, you're going to love him. R-O-D, Rod Wave, W-A-V-E. Stronger Than Yesterday. I let that play and play. But all the music is good. He has a mix of some of his favorites. Oh, it's going to blow your mind. But I was walking down the street, I think yesterday afternoon, and this young lady started telling me my music was too loud. I had to try to read her lips because I couldn't hear her. But she was trying to tell me something. She was shaking her head like this, saying about, I'm sure it had to do with this high cost of living here. It's driving people insane. It is. And with the heat and the greedy grabbing up every dollar that people have, that's toxic. That's really toxic. And just inventing new ways to grab every little coin you can off of the working person's pocket. I mean, even a 5-year-old could tell you that's not going to get you very many votes. Not at all. But I found myself, I've been telling you all for maybe a week or longer about the neighbors that started feuding, and I kind of chalk it up to the heat and no AC in their units, and it's only so much a person can take. And then they start sniping each other with their tongue, of course, or with the noise level, or all night long somebody will play their television and don't bother to turn the volume down. They're going for each other's last nerve. So, I'm caught in between their brood and their feud. And if you think Granny is going to waste her life, hello. If you think Granny's going to waste her life and her resources on foolishness, think again. Because we just got our usual rent increase, and that usually just puts you in a bad mood. Because they started all kind of new fees up and everything, so that puts you in a bad mood. You feel like, well, everything you work for, somebody's going to grab it right from under you. So you have to check yourself, So, let's see. Welcome in. If I can't see your greetings on the screen, I can see about 3 or 4 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see about 4 right now. And I'm sure there's more, and I don't get to see them. And thank you to the moderator, because the moderators will, if there's something they think needs to be previewed, they'll put that on up there for you to preview it. But they get to decide what comments I read. So I'll just say thank you to everyone that comments. Thank you to everyone that pops in or pops out or watches the replay. Believe me, I appreciate it. To me, I feel safer with you all around. If I'm outdoors somewhere, I feel safer with you all around, because I know if somebody tries to sneak up on Grandma, you guys are going to dial 911 and let them know, hey, check this phone, check this lady's cell phone. She's with T-Mobile, and find out what happened to her. You guys will do that, because you got to be good people if you can put up with Grandma. But yeah, they couldn't stop the neighbors. They couldn't stop their feud. And I won't say I'm a professional because I'm retired, but I used to have a profession where I was in the middle or surrounded by a lot of people that would get angry. That's Los Angeles for you. Especially where it gets hot downtown and inner city. It gets so hot, so people really get short-tempered. They don't know who they are, and they just say anything and come for you. They'll come after you with a machete or something before you know it. Just like the neighbor sent that text. Some of you might know, Madeline probably heard me talk about it. The neighbor lady was over in Marina Del Rey shopping. She usually goes over there and gets her groceries and what. And she sent this long, scary text that a man came in to the stores there, and he had he had a hatchet or a machete or something, and he up everything that was on the shelves. So that was part of my everyday routine in Los Angeles. So that was part of my routine, seeing people at their wits' ends and just strike out while they're really not in control of themselves. So I've seen a side of people that ordinarily most people will never get to see that side. And I'm glad they can. I'm glad not everybody needs to see that. But, they might be very nice, wonderful people, and then who knows, they might have all these pressures at their law firm. They might have all these pressures going on at home and all over wherever they are. They have all these pressures, and it just happens to be the season where their pressure is just grinding them just dust, and they'll lose it. They'll lose it. I've had some close calls with some of those types that just snap and lose it. I mean, professionals. And because they were, shall we say, at the high spectrum level, they were at the wide end of the spectrum. They tried to come to their senses and try to amend everything. And they think money will fix everything. But I've asked people, ask yourself, have you ever, or can you imagine yourself being so angry that no amount of money that a person offers you, you can't even think about money, numbers, nothing. You're just thinking about, oh, this mofo put his hands on me. He put his hands on me, left me injured, and he think he's just gonna throw something my way and his butt is off a sling. See, that's when they feel, or they have the control over us, when we can't be rational long enough to do it our way and to let their pockets burn. See, if I had to do that again, I would say to the attorney, take it. Whatever he wants to pay you, take it. But I still want to see him, I want to see him sit on a dunce stool and have all his professional peers look at him wide-eyed and amazed and wonder, why is he always in court? He has, that's not his job description. His job description is right here to do this other professional work. I wanted him to go through that kind of pain, because when somebody, especially a woman, when somebody starts attacking you, your upper body, your shoulders, your arms, and all this, it affects everything that's up there at the top. I don't know if I can say the B word, but it affects that. And okay, maybe some people, I don't mean to diminish or demean women, because we have, in most cases, we have the ability to tolerate pain that nobody can tolerate. But I've never in my life felt that kind of pain in my B words, you see. And I'm just saying that the blows I took were to my arm, shoulder, that area. It wasn't my B words. But I felt pain because of the ribs that are there, the ribs that are under there. And I had trained in martial arts. I really did. I had one instructor in martial arts that had trained the Green Beret. So he was no nonsense. It wasn't fluff, vanity at all. He was the real deal. He was a Korean man, not that big, but of course he was so advanced that he didn't need to be a big man. When you have some of the smallest frame people that have spent their whole life in martial arts and they're training and they're advanced, they don't need bulk or anything else. Sure, they're fit, they're healthy and all that, but they don't need mass. They don't need body mass at all. They, well, you all are wise, you know. They know how to take you down with just a finger or even less. So this man, he did not play with us, and he was so serious that just his presence, you'd shut up talking. You would not smile or laugh or talk to somebody. When he came in to the room, it was no nonsense, quiet, get to work, get ready and get to work. I had that instructor, then I had another instructor. He was unnecessarily difficult. So I know I earned my belts. I did. I earned mine. I'm telling you, there was no limit to the number of reps that you could do in his dojo. Just, it's sort of like what the people that jog and run all the time, the competitive runners, they will tell you that sometimes the skin comes off of their feet because they run so much and they just deal with the pain somehow. I don't know how they do it, but they say skin comes off of certain other parts I can't mention because they run and run and run and run. That's how that instructor was. He was really committed and dedicated because I think it was in his high school or somewhere in his younger years. He was, I don't know how many, but he was involved in a real bad fight with somebody, maybe a gang or something, like outnumbered him, and they left him in a state of mind that never again. So he was like that most of the time. You could see on his face that he was in a state of mind always ready to defend himself, always ready to fight. His eyes were big and round, and he'd watch every twitch, every move you made, he'd watch. I mean, nothing could change that about him. And he could hold a conversation, but he was always defensive in a conversation. Every word you said, they're going to run me over or what? These people never want to stop. Oh, I understand. I love this weather, and I love LA County too, but I know the difference. You just can't run people down. It's a mental thing. People get into a mental space They have to drive so much, walk so much until their mind just is on automatic pilot. They can't think about, oh, here's a grandma, we better maybe stop at the crosswalk. They can't think about that. But yeah, it was strange being around him because he was always in a mindset, and you could hardly never see him smile. Maybe once in every couple of years you might see him smile. Or might laugh with his teachers once in a while. But whoever it was that taught him that lesson, they turned him into a fighting machine. Because he not only mastered all the, I don't know exactly the proper title for all the movements. I think some karate calls them katas or something like that. You have to know all the different moves, all the different defenses. He was more of a street fighter teacher. He didn't want anything any vanity or anything fluffy. He wanted us to know his studio was even in the heart of one of the roughest parts of Los Angeles. He did not, he would ask you, what are you smiling about? He'd get upset if we smiled, if we looked like we were enjoying all the hard work that we were putting in. It would upset him. He wanted you to be ready to fight any number of people. He would always train you not to expose your back. If you're going to fight, make sure you have your back to something like a wall or a building or something like that. When you left his training, you were over-prepared. Not after the war, but before the war. And what can you say? The man learned the hard way. They thumped him to a zone where they must have thumped him into a different planet. Because he was ruthless. With us, he was ruthless. And no, there's no such thing as an excuse. There's no such thing as you're tired. Just no excuses, period. You could be in the emergency room. That's still no excuse. You could be in your casket. That's still no excuse. I have to compare that to some of the things that I've seen in the street. Some of them there's no words for it. Some of the things you'll see in Los Angeles in the streets. Maybe some of it is close to what you might see in some of these side movies. Where people, they have these Marvel characters or different characters that get in all these fights, and it's too bizarre, and it's not true to life. That's what you're going to say. You're going to say people don't really do that, but there's some really bizarre things that happen in the streets in the big city. I think there's one man from New York City. Leonard, if you hear this, where are you? Leonard, he's from New York. He grew up downtown, or is it uptown New York in Manhattan, in the city. He grew up. He said that was it for him. He left. He's in New York, but he's the other part of New York that's not that difficult. Leonard, you You can come up in the chat. You can type it in the chat and I'll read it for the people. What you were telling me maybe a week or two ago about New York and how you have to stay away from uptown, that you grew up there and you're never going to be there. Well, they have some good places here. A lot of places you can go and eat your heart out. Good food. And then you'll need blood pressure pills. You need blood pressure pills. I was so upset with the feud that my neighbors were having. I was at the point where I was trying to avoid getting in the mix, and I was telling myself where I need to go to my primary care doctor and get her to give me a stronger dose or more medication to control my blood pressure, because my blood pressure was so serious. It was so serious, and I just automatically, I get a plan together, I keep a plan together, but I won't let myself panic because I know it's so serious. Once you start to getting above 200 and on your top number and above 100 on your bottom number, that's serious. That's emergency room. And so the nice grandma, she didn't live here anymore. I started saying things I never heard myself say, never thought I could dream to say. I started saying things to these people. I started making calls and saying things, and people were telling me, well, in other words, they would try to browbeat me and talk to me like a child and say, well, you gotta be careful and this, that, and oh, please. If they live half as long as I have and seen half as much as I've seen, then maybe I might consider what they're trying to tell me. In other words, they're just telling me to just count it as another day, ignore it, let it go away, that kind of thing. Or they're trying to pretend like there's nothing going on. It must be the condos next door, that it's not our building. Just, I can't say complete laziness, but complete ignorance and dangerous, because people will take it so far you won't be able to reach them. Everybody will need a Teflon Kevlar vest, and it won't take them long to reach that. So the next 10 days we're expecting a repeat, another 10 days of heat warnings, extreme heat. And the thing is, it used to be that the temperatures would rise, and that's how you would know it's going to be so hot. It might even be Vegas hot, where you can't walk on the sidewalks. Hi. Oh, thank you. Okay. They're on their phones trying to get their evening plans together. But yeah, we used to have a whole different situation where we knew which months would be the highest temperatures, and along with that would come heat and sometimes humidity. and we would just prepare ahead for it. But now, even if it's only in the 70s and 80s, for some reason, we're having these warnings about dangerous, extreme heat. So, we have to rethink everything now. I, we used to consider that not winter weather, but 70s and 80s. That was mild. That was nothing that you'd need a heat warning for. I mean, it was nothing. But now it can be 2 in the morning. It could be 2 in the morning. And, that car didn't have a driver. That wasn't a Waymo. Yeah, it could be 2 or 3 in the morning. And still in the 70 degrees. So we're going to have 10 days of that. And I'm not even going to hold any false hopes for my neighbors surviving it. The two that have been on the warpath. I don't know how they're going to survive it again. But they'll be on their own, because I'll make sure I'm not around for that. I had all I could take of them. They had my blood pressure so sky high. I'm lucky to be here to tell it, but I wasn't going to just let it roll off my back. No. Mm-mm. I had a plan together. I gave them a nice warning, and then I stepped it up to a not so nice warning, and then I stepped it up to evil lean. Don't you bring me no bad news. And you're harming my health, and you're going to pay for every bit of it. And it took, all of August, maybe the end of July, and here August is almost over. There's 1 week left. It took almost 30 days for them to come back a little bit, come back to reality a little bit. But that was because so many neighbors were calling the police and sending the police to their doors. And so I'll be anywhere but where my neighbors are. How they can stay home. They're at least on a second floor with no AC. And how they can stay indoors and just know they're miserable and just fight. That's 2-year-old. That's 2-year-old tantrum behavior. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if I tell you that they've been removed from the property and they're not permitted to come back on the property, or one of them are injured by the other one. You can hope for the best, and then you have to wake up and realize that they can only do for themselves. Nobody can make them do what they need to do. It's kind of easy to kick back and sit indoors and feel comfortable and say, oh, it's not worth walking and have exercise routines. Oh, it's so easy just to sit back and have your snacks and whatever you like, television or telephone or whatever, books or whatever. It's so easy to do that. I know I did that with my genealogy research until my goddaughter contacted me and she started planning for trips, that kind of thing. And so I got out. I was happy to get out and go and just relax, break up the routine. But it's so easy to get stuck in a rut when you have your your favorite thing going on indoors and you only have to go out for certain things. Oh, I got the walk light. Let me get across here. If I can get to the farmer's market before they close. If not, there's other places. They have 24-hour stores anyhow, so I'll be okay. And really all I need to do is to find some kind of healthy protein. Because the ones that they made popular, the plant proteins that they made popular, you know what happened to the prices, right? Prices have already been high enough, but they just keep raising it higher and higher and higher. And maybe I don't think I'm ruining my health, but I know I feel so much better when I have meatless days. I just use mangoes instead of meat. It fills me up. I feel like I've had any other type of heavy meat. It's just I have to make sure I don't get too much sugar from that fruit. But if I have enough fruit and I make sure I have a small amount of protein each day, I'll do just fine without animal protein. I'm not vegetarian, so I still go for depending on who prepares it, I can still go for some chicken and lamb and almost never anything else, almost never any beef, but I can if certain people prepare it. And it won't be that much. It won't be much enough to jack up my blood pressure. Nah, it won't be that kind. So, but yeah, Sprouts usually has some tamales. And I know they use too much vegetable fat, but once in a while, it's not going to be the stable part of my diet that's going to clog up my veins. No. Oh, no. No. But I'm not going to be shy about picking out when I do eat tamales or something like that. I'm going to pick out, just get out the way, get out the oven, because you won't be getting a crumb. You won't get near a crumb. I will eat all of it. So it's going to be for sure on the Christmas menu. I can't say how many times during the year, but sometimes during the year. I think in the last month I had one pack which has four in it. I had that and that filled me up. I didn't need any meat for so long after that. Well, not that I eat meat, but I mean I didn't have to even have any plant protein. I wasn't craving anything heavy. That's what I'm trying to say. Or meat replacement. I didn't miss that. I'll use cornbread too. Some of the Sprouts cornbread. That fills you up real good. It tastes so good. Hi, how are you? Good, you've been busy today.
Feels good now, huh?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to get inside. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going in here now. I thank you all for joining the live. And since it's already dark, I may jump back on the live later just for safety. Just for safety, I may jump back on so you all can watch my back. But thank you for joining the live. And I hope you have a very peaceful Sunday evening and an unusual, calm, prosperous week, year, and life. But I gotta get in here. I think they stay open real late, but it's Sunday, so most of the stores like to close up early so they can enjoy their life too. Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it all. Appreciate every one of you. You're very kind. See you in the next live.